to Montreal, Canada, and then Quebec, and then Nova Scotia.
How are we getting there?
We're flying.
To Nova Scotia?
No, to Montreal. And then we go to, we stay in a hotel, and we get on the ship on the 25th.
It's 27th, but that's close. Today's the 25th.
Square was a cemetery up until the mid-1800s, le Square Dorchester sur votre droite. So Queen Elizabeth Hotel sur la droite on the right, where John Lennon and Yoko Ono wrote the song Give Peace a Chance in 1969.
And they came from France, and this was an evangelical mission.
It was a fortified city, and we had already fallen to the British in 1760, so they were no longer necessary and were demolished. 1776, alors que nous avons failli devenir le 14e État américain. And we want to see the magnificent flowers in front of our City Hall. Qui sont très belles les fleurs. And City Hall is open to public when the front door is open. L'hôtel de ville qui est ouvert au public. Quand la porte d'entrée est ouverte. And on the right, Saunier Building was the first courthouse. C'était notre premier palais de justice. L'édifice Saunier sur la droite, nowadays finance offices of the city. C'est des bureaux des finances. And in front of it, Place Royale, like in Quebec City, like in most French cities, they always have Place Royale. And it aged quite well, I have to say. So you can see the St. Lawrence River, how water is shallow here, comment l'eau est peu profonde and a very strong current. Il y a un courant qui est vrai. And in 1976, they were doing some welding on the structure, and it was recovered back then with acrylic, and it took 15 minutes, the whole thing was burned. But you know when they're at their prettiest after a snowstorm. Nowadays, apartment buildings, c'est des édifices appartements aujourd'hui. But January is the coldest. That's when it goes down to minus 30. $1.2 million. Municipal and school taxes together were $27,000. And I think it's, yes, per year. And I think it's this house right here on the right. J'ai vérifié cette maison-ci sur la droite à $1.2 million. We are becoming Montreal one of the top cities in the world studying artificial intelligence. and it it's 300 buildings. Aujourd'hui, l'Université McGill, c'est 300 édifices. Cette université qui a été fondée en 1821 par James McGill. Famous students of McGill, William Shatner, Captain Kirk.
Delicious continental breakfast. I already had 2 cups of coffee, so I think I had enough for now. That looks very good. The lighting is good. Now they have the muffins. They didn't have them before.
Probably fresh baked.
Yeah.
And my croissants. I've been thinking about croissants. You can do
You don't want your back. People are going to wonder why we always see Mary's back. Or we don't see Mary at all. That's better.
You're just being a nudge. So you
Well,
thinking like
Where have you been?
in Montreal. We're just spending some time before going over to the ship
Okay.
in Old Montreal. We're on Rue Notre-Dame and about a block from St. Pierre, which is where we walk back to the hotel.
Oh, the restaurant we went to.
Yeah. How was your first meal on board the Mariner?
My first meal. Oh, I had prime rib already. I'm eating too much already. I just got on board.
Was it cooked to perfection?
It really was tender. It was really good. And I had asparagus with roast beef wrapped around it. That was very good.
More roast beef.
Yeah, and some nice vegetables. And then I had some dessert. Probably my first and last dessert.
No, not last.
That's what happens. I eat dinner and then I don't want dessert.
So what are you doing next?
We're going to tour the ship to see if they've changed anything before we're allowed to go in the room about 2 o'clock. So that's all I know.
Yeah, we'll go walk around. I got the whole room in.
Oh, he's taking pictures. Wonder why you're putting the thing over your face.
Hi.
you're not going to go upstairs,
Yeah. Well, do you want to?
watch it from here, no? Then just go up for 7 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah. 7 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah, we could do that.
Don't crash into it.
No, that'll end the cruise before it starts.
I say, when are you flying home?
Welcome to Quebec City. My name is Joanne and I'll be your tour guide this morning. So if you have any questions, please don't hesitate. I'll try to answer them to the best of my knowledge. Of course, it wasn't built all at once like this, but it was at the around 1885 that 1875, sorry, that businessman and politician had a big project to connect East Canada and West Canada with a railroad and build luxurious hotel along the way. Here's St. Patrick's Pub here. No, they are open for lunch. Yes, they are. And the church you have here on your left-hand side, this is the Basilica Cathedral Notre Dame of Quebec. Last built in 1924. Buildings with the gray and red roof. You have a small alley that is called the Treasure Lane, where a few artists of Quebec display their beautiful work. And on your right hand side, we are at the foot of the Hotel Chateau Frontenac. Also on your right hand side, you have the statue of the founder of Quebec, Samuel de Champlain.
Wait.
Hi. Oh, Canada.
Okay.
Nice weather, it's beautiful. Such gorgeous weather. Yes, Mary. Good Easter. Mary, it's a beautiful day, yes. Lovely. And we're going to be hungry all day so we can have a delicious dinner. She's running out.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any horses yet.
Between those two battles, because it was very cold. But both parts needed food and ammunitions, and actually the inns, microbreweries, Les Trois Brasseurs and Linux, Starbucks. And during the summer music festival, this section of the Grand Alley is open only for pedestrians. So to the joy of the restaurant owner, they can extend also their terraces. So that is the facade of this building, the drill hall, that they are redoing the copper roof. Actually, there was only the facade and the two turrets left. And this building on your right hand side that I call the bunker or the radiator, that ugly thing that was built in the 70s, it is the administrative center of the National Assembly that we have on the left hand side. They demolished beautiful Victorian home for this. Well, the law wasn't passed then.
I got it. I'm not sure. It doesn't click, so I'm not sure if it got the picture.
Oh, I might have turned off the click.
Huh?
I might have turned off the clicking for you.
Oh, is that it?
Maybe.
Indians and passed along to the first settlers here.
So you're going to go out again to see Quebec?
I think we are. If it's not too far to walk.
Well, if it is, you turn around.
Okay. Maybe I'll buy a fur coat.
or you can take the steps.
That where it just goes up to the top of that? Oh, it's like flags. It's cute. Cheese with bread. So good. Yeah, maybe you could put a couple of herbs in it, I think. Oh, this is excellent. Excellent. Yeah.
You're having what?
Tuna and avocado.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Only the shell is big. Only the shell.
Okay. Oh dear.
A pile of crab legs.
I don't know. I think I need another plate. I'll eat one piece and then I'll here's the plate for another plate. What? You're watching me kill the
Make
bug?
sure I got a good view of it.
The bug is one.
What are your plans today?
To keep that camera off.
No curmudgeon.
I don't know, what are we going? I should read my book. Maybe I won't fall asleep this time.
You going to the Tex-Mex lunch?
Oh, God, Joseph.
It's going to be
In 2 hours?
2 hours. Yeah, you got 2 hours. You want to run around the deck a couple of times?
Gone by 2 hours.
We're going to go to the gym.
Oh, yeah.
What floor is the gym on?
7.
7.
I did enough walking yesterday. It didn't help my back at all.
I'm going to go lift some weights.
And then tea at 4.
That's cheesecake tea.
Cheesecake tea time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a cheesecake tea. All kinds of.
It's my great pleasure to introduce the master of this beautiful vessel. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage your captain, Captain Serena Milani.
Yes, that's fine.
Very good evening to all.
Thank
Buonasera. Of course, well, probably you already heard from my very little accent that I'm not American or British or Australian, but I'm Italian, of course, and you will see because I also like to use a lot my hands. Well, and but I live in Croatia because it's happened that I fall in love with the Croatian men, so I live in Corčula.
Croatia.
I'm honored to introduce the senior officer of 70s Mariner. First gentleman on my left is our general manager Andreas, and he's also from Italy, and he has on board his beautiful family.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Andreas. I'm coming from Italy. I'm the general manager on board. I'm in charge of the hotel operation. I'm coming from the beautiful city called Venice, Italy. How many of you have been in Venice? I started my career 20 years ago on board of a gondola, and here I am. I'm very pleased.
Well, very good evening and welcome, or welcome back, whatever the case may be to you all. My name is Jeff, and I'm all the way from Vancouver, Canada. We've got about 40 Canadians on board, so welcome wherever you are from. I'm the executive concierge on board, and I'm in charge of the reception desk, which is located on deck number 5, right in the middle of the ship, and we're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and I would love to meet each and every one of you. Once again, thank you for your attention, and have an amazing cruise.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Lynn. I'm a cruise consultant on board. A very warm welcome to all of you. I look after our 7 Seas Society members. Those are our returning guests. And I work in partnership with your travel agent to help you plan and book your next Regent cruise while you're on board. So I wish you a wonderful voyage. I am an American, by the way, and I come from the great seafaring state of Iowa.
I love the sweet little coffee and coffee bun sleep. We're on imposing talk, no, we don't see all come to continuously in your love and tell me Chino Italiano, Italiano, Chino Italiano, continuously in your
Ladies and gentlemen, your brand new American production cast is Cinema Italiano from the movie musical Nine.
Are we hungry yet?
No. I'm done. I think I get dry leave right now.
There's your snack.
Thank you, yes. Oh, how pretty.
Just a little bite to eat.
It's hot. Oh my God. So Stuart took the dog. He's a pit bull. Oh, yes. He's very gentle. You're getting muesli too.
Supposed to, yeah. How do you feel? Yeah?
Okay, I needed something on my stomach. I was getting a little bit woozy.
The ocean's bothering you?
No. I have a patch. I think a patch.
Oh.
I think it's okay. Thank you.
Thought we'd get a picture of you in the rough seas in the background.
Oh, yes, yes.
But they're getting a little bit more rolling.
All the white caps back there. Not too many white caps. Not too bad.
No, it's rolling a little more though.
Voila!
Let's go.
And toi?
Showtime! Mesdames, Messieurs, for your fine dining experience tonight in our lovely French restaurant, our Maître Erkan and I would like to wish you
Bon appétit! Beautiful to have a book with baby tomato and olive tapenado. Stop with the spinach and pistachio sauce.
Thank you.
Very good. Thank you.
We're going on a tour of the Titanic and where else? The Halifax.
Halifax, yeah.
Yeah, Halifax and Titanic remains. Probably all the bodies and everything.
No, the graves.
Oh, we're going to the graveyard too.
My name is Barbara. I'm your tour guide. Nice to meet you all. We're in for a lovely couple of hours. The sun came out just on time, just like it always does. Yeah. So our driver's name is Blair. Give it up for Blair. If your challenge is Blair, today, you should go straight down. It's easier there. Yeah. And here, of course, is the jewel of our city, is the beautiful Victorian Public Gardens. Aren't they gorgeous taking a look through? There's hundreds of different varieties of plants in there. And so this is the Northwest Arm here. That's the Halifax Harbor, salt water. So once we get up and around the corner, if you want to do a little yoga stretch, you can turn around to your left shoulder and look up past that canopy. That?
Oh, it's shaped this way, the
like
ground.
the bow of a ship, yeah.
Okay.
With a gentle slope, right? Yeah. And their number. Well, we'll start. Come on in, everyone. Cuddle in, you're off the same ship. So after the movie, all the women came flocking to this Titanic cemetery, right? To the point where they were bringing carnations. They were leaving their movie tickets. They were playing music. They were holding on to it. They wouldn't go anywhere. So at night, the police would have to come in and say, "Ladies, you have to go." And they're going, "No, we can't leave our beloved Jack." You know, it was a. Yeah, and you'll learn more at the museum. These are just the highlights. The Narrows. The Narrows during World War I and World War II was a real hub of activity. Every ship that was heading to war-torn Europe would come here to the Halifax Narrows and get permission to leave. To build frigates and icebreakers. Our Navy fleet is ailing. We need some new boats. But what's great about this great shipbuilding contract is that quite indicatively all the younger tradespeople would have to leave Halifax and go to Western Canada to get work in the oil fields. So now they say that this is going to provide enough work for at least another generation. Royal Canadian Navy here on the left-hand side. The only other biggest Navy base in Canada would be in Esquimalt, British Columbia. The second major employer here would be our federal government, and after that would be our provincial government. The only other biggest federal employer here in Canada would be in our nation's capital of Ottawa. At one time there was over 150 lighthouses dotting the very indented coastline, one of the most indented coastlines in the world. I think you're in for a nice sunset tonight. Yeah, it's going to be gorgeous leaving. And did you see that big reflector lighthouse or buoy, if you will, when you first come into the museum? You're going to be passing tonight. You're going to be passing one of the second oldest lighthouse in Nova Scotia. That's Sambro Lighthouse, and it's over 253 years old. And one of that particular piece there, you see old Halifax burial grounds here in Halifax dating back to 1749. And that's the front on the left-hand side of the Lieutenant Governor's Mansion that I showed you earlier. Farmers Market here. the oldest one in Canada, dating back to 1750. Not its original site, but it's still a very integral role to our economy. Museum of Immigration in there, and if you know someone who came through that front door, because I know I have Canadians on board, there's a resource center in there, and for free of charge you can go in there and they'll run your family name and
Cute little pumpkin.
I got him.
All of our guides are wearing Loyalist costumes. The Loyalists were Americans that wanted to remain patriotic to the British Crown, got on ships, landed in Halifax and the port city. Over here on the driver's side at the next corner, we're going to be coming to Chubb's Corner. This is where all the public auctions and sales would have been held years ago. When they went to build this building, they had problems. So when you look up at the third level, you're going to see faces. They depicted the council of the day. We're just turning on to King Street. King Street is the shortest, steepest main street in Canada. This area is known as Trinity Royal. When the Loyalists came here in 1783, they brought the coat of arms from Boston. It's located in a church there, Trinity Church. It's got 4 clocks on the very top. There's a fish on the very top of the steeple. There are washrooms at this particular stop. We also have washrooms on this bus. Over.
We're in the city market.
We got 4,000 acres of parkland coming up here on the north side. Rockwood Park, all kinds of winter and summer activities. In summer, of course, all kinds of fishing and boating, hiking. The old Red Rose Tea Mansion. Tea Esterworks brought in bulk tea from India and introduced the gauze tea bag. So as you can see, down towards the port, right in front of your ship is the Hilton Hotel, Trade Convention Center, and Partridge Island, and those bulk carrier ships on the outside of the harbor. And of course, Mr. Sims, we do here brought a paintbrush, a roller. James White, prominent Loyalist, that had land grants here. There's Lady Latour here. Years ago. right now we're on the west side of the city. That is a quiz, darling, and I never tell anyone where I work. I am the last call, and I'm not a bartender.
How was your shopping trip?
Terrible. There's nothing.
Nothing?
Yeah, nothing. We didn't have tchotchke souvenirs like we wanted.
Yeah, it's the end of the season.
Yeah,
This is the last ship.
They're packing up.
The last ship of the year.
We just got 9 points in trivia. It's in front of us. I think 6 people, so they got 13. 6 minds against all 3 little minds.
I don't have a PS4
See, the more people you have, sometimes the better off you are. Because they got 6 brains are better than 2 or 3. Right?
What do you have?
Oh, what do I have? And the crab cake, harvest salad, with the truffles.
Truffle potato.
I didn't have mushroom, but now I have truffles and spinach. And I'm looking forward to dessert.
Yeah, dessert. Cheesecake tonight for me.
Cheesecake might be good because I had the pretzel lays last night. I'm going to have the seafood sandwich.
And because we're that old, we have about 90 properties and districts that are on the National Register of Historic Places. And that would have been a lot more had it not been for the Great Fire of 1866. So this will give you a pretty good idea of the Portland skyline. Like I said, you can see we don't have a lot of tall buildings here. Isn't that neat? They always go all out for Halloween. And everything, but it's just a nice, quaint little town. The homes that you're going to see through here were pretty much built by ship captains, the people that owned the shipyards, wealthy merchants of the day, and so forth. And each one of these, they're neat. Each one of these is very uniquely built, totally different design on each one of them. And back then, this was the wealthiest place in Kennebunk. Isn't that neat? You can see how far this comes up during high tide, and there are a couple of surfers out there. You can see them laying on their boards here. But anyway, there's actually 3 beaches here. This is Gooch's Beach, then around the corner is Middle Beach, and further down is Mother's Beach. And this beach right here is actually where Barbara Bush used to come and walk her dog each morning. The right-hand side of some of those back there, they still have those little, they look like little cherry tomatoes on it. It's past season now. But now this whole area, like I said, back in the shipbuilding days, back in the 1800s, this entire area was just booming. And it got to the point where a lot of folks from Boston and New York City started coming up here to vacation in the summertime.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Here in Kennebunkport, the center of the town. And it's a very good place. Just doing some shopping. And then we're having lunch.
Kennebunk has trees. Kennebunkport has bushes. Oh, I was hoping it was going to be all laughs. Because if anybody awes, then I usually say that's Roger's joke, so. Yes, no. Set up just like it was back then. It's gorgeous in there. And then as you can see, they've just expanded and added on over the years. But they're sitting, their back is right on the water back there. It's just a beautiful place to go. And
Smile.
This was a wonderful lobster lunch.
Yeah. What'd you have with it?
We had chips and coleslaw and the lobster. And it's like a
And a chowder.
homemade bread.
Chowder.
And, and the chowder, it was like fish chowder. Potato and
What a pretty building.
Isn't that gorgeous? All of this is so pretty. This area. Very pretty. Imagine these places are built a long time ago, too.
so they close this one up for the winter time, and a lot of the folks that work here will head down to Florida and work in this other one. Nice little gig. Now we've got some of the beautiful homes down here, all along the left-hand side as we go by. Yeah, this guy on the left here, he's an accountant. And this beautiful over here. So when there's no flags flying, that means that they're not here. But that whole section is known as Walker's Point. And 41 in Barbara, like I said, they live in this first home here, the nice one. Now there's a couple of little places, little bungalows off to the side. I've heard that he built a couple of those for nieces and nephews, and I guess he has another daughter that he's built those little homes for. And then that yellowish tan house over here, the bigger one, that was built by Jeb about 3 years ago. So Jeb Bush lives in that house. You can see the tennis court in between the two. And then the rest of the houses down on this end, those belong to the Secret Service. That's where the Secret Service live. And you can see they have a few cars there, so. They've got a guard shack right over here, as you can see, as we make the corner over here, that I try to convince Roger to pull in there to see what happens, but never quite dared to give it a shot. Quite a compound. And it is still heavily washed. Sometimes you can see it. There's a little camera that sits right up here on the right. We had, at the time, the East Shipyard and the West Shipyard. And they would produce Liberty ships. Now, the two shipyards were finally joined together. The government took over a neighborhood. There was a neighborhood, a residential neighborhood separating the two. And the government took it over by eminent domain. See that house on the left-hand side? Isn't that a nice house? Yeah. That was in the paper. Now, I don't know if it's sold or not. That was in the paper this past summer for sale for $11 million. The buildings used to be warehouses, boat yards, and so forth. Well, now they're all shops, restaurants, and stores. So anywhere up along these side streets, as you can take a look and see, if you want to walk around and see the Old Port section, it's this entire area all the way down through here. And it only goes back up a street or so, and there's a couple of streets, this Market Street and then Exchange Street back there. That's the area. You guys are right where this light is coming up here, so it's very easy walk if you want to come down through here. Thank you, guys. You were a lot of fun. Very good group.
It's a great show. I mean, I like it. It was on over the summer.
Then also we keep all the equipment like a sextant. It's designed to see the distance between the pier and the ship side. Ship. That's ballast system, grey water system, and freshwater system.
We've got about 1 more minute. We're going to get started. Look, well. Which singer was born Annie Mae Bullock in Nutbush, Tennessee? A. Time, B. Vanity Fair, C. Vogue, or D. Harper's Bazaar.
I did between Vogue and Vanity Fair. Yeah, or Bazaar. That's a female magazine.
5 different types of columns: Doric, Ionic, Tuscan, Composite, and which other? 13. Where are the semicircular canals in the body? Number 14.
I have Meniere's disease, so I
What
know
was the
those
nationality of the 2 men who invented the game Trivial Pursuit? What was the nationality of the... Corinthian is correct. Number 6. Which children's book did Forrest Gump keep in his suitcase?
Curious George.
Yes, sir. Curious George. She gave me the finger. I almost gave... Thanks for the bribe. I really appreciate it.
On a bus tour, I think. No, a trolley. We're going on a trolley. That should be interesting, all around Boston. And then if we get back on time, we have another tour that takes us to Little Italy. Should be interesting.
That's where the interstate is now. Left us with this park. We named it after JFK's park, the Rose Kennedy Greenway. And we're down at Boston waterfront now. The tall building is here on the left, the clock tower. That's actually considered Boston's first skyscraper. That's the old Boston Customs Tower. And that's from 1912. So right here, throw rocks and snowballs at them. They were actually daring the soldiers to fire into the crowd. And in their panic and their confusion, that's just what they did. When the smoke cleared in front of this old building, 5 citizens made it. And they called this the Boston Massacre. And along with the Boston Tea Party, it's one of those events that that's where the occupying British soldiers was. In the tower. Flower gardens, it looks like it's November in it. Formal flower gardens, this is where the tulip was first From the famous children's book, Make Labor Duckling. We all got copies of that in our luggage, don't we? Over here on the left, yep, there's kids over there right now. You see them under the trees. Make Labor Ducklings. That book takes place here in the public garden. That's why the statue's there. It's actually the official children's book of Massachusetts. You gather them and talk about sports and politics. So they were going to make a TV show about a bar in Boston. They scoured a lot of locations, but they settled on that one back there, which at the time was called the Bullet Pinch Pub. And of course the TV show was shot in Hollywood. If a statue has a horse with both legs in the air, that means that the rider was killed in George Washington. Taking credit for a wound he never got. You know what it means if the horse has all four hooves in the air, right? That's right, you're following that. You're on a carousel. Versace, art woman. Art galleries, fancy restaurants, sidewalk cafes. Wait, I'm doing a celebrity watching. Later we're going to be driving through MIT, but this was actually MIT's first building right here on the left. MIT was founded here in Boston in 1860. That's John Hancock Tower. 62 stories high. Designed to reflect the beautiful older buildings of Conway Square and the beautiful people who are drawn to that. Fabulous old Fairmont Copley Plaza Hotel from 1912. Long John hotels in Boston. They have a very famous mascot. She's an adorable black lab. Peaceful courtyards. Look, back in 1897, very factory racket. They don't do that anymore. Here's the new Old South Church from 1875. Look down the street. Maybe you can just see the yellow line about a block down. Can you see the yellow line? Oh, yes. Yes. There's a lot of buses. That's the finish line of the Boston Marathon. Right? That is a very different place on Marathon. That's where the Boston Marathon. This was the showplace street in the 19th century. That was all landfill, so they built this land. They used the ability to lay out these long, straight streets in a sensible grid pattern, very unlike winding colonial streets that are down by the waterfront. Most of these homes were actually sold before they even existed. This was all planned. This was the first planned communities in America. So they build the land and they started building the buildings. These ones are from 1860. The oldest part of the land built. It's a real oldest Major League Baseball park in America. Built in 1912. You can take tours, but I don't think you guys can. It's a market. You can learn about people on the tour. You learn about some of the greats, like the teammates here. Ted Williams, Johnny Pesky, Bobby Doerr, Dom DiMaggio. Here's Carl Yastrzemski with his hat. The Vikings were actually the first European settlers here back around 500 years ago. But the first building they built when they moved out of here was the one on your right. That's the Rogers Administration Building. William Barton Rogers, the founder of the school. And down here on the left, you're going to see Microsoft and other internet facilities here. Facebook and Twitter and Amazon. A lot of internet stuff here, a lot of IT stuff here surrounding everything. This is one of the most densely populated areas of high technology in America. I'll be around MIT. It's a hotbed of smarty pants around here. You know, this is a lot of these are from the 1820s. These are examples of the Federalist style of architecture. I'm telling you, Paul Revere laid the cornerstone of the Massachusetts State House. You can walk up here from the Quincy Line if you like. There are free tours right over here at the entrance on the left every hour. It was Boston City Hall until 1968. Now, yes, it's a Ruth Chris Steakhouse, so it's seeing much more important work. What? Oh, beautiful building, though, French Second Empire. Now, if you look over this used to be what was called Chain Wharf. This was the center of the fishing industry. This supposedly was the smelliest part of town right here. Now it only smells of roses. Look over here on the left, you'll see the Rose Kennedy Memorial Rose Garden. See behind that fence there? There's Rose Kennedy, JFK's mom. She was born in the North End here in 1890, and she lived to be 104. They took it all down in 2004. They left that chunk of steel as a souvenir. This is the entrance of Interstate 93.
Hopefully. There's another store.
Underneath Boston, there's another hill where I'm stopping at South Station to catch the ship that goes to, the boat that goes to the ship. This is your only chance to get to.
They said we go over with cash. It's interesting. So this is our neighborhood. Right to your left. See the tiny little buildings?
Oh, this looks wonderful over here.
So this is that you're trying. Parmigiano Reggiano.
That's the best.
And this is usually in those big wheels you'll see sometimes in the store. And it has the words Parmigiano Reggiano on the side. Some people think this is a wax coating. This is not. This is part of the cheese. I know, but in that jar. You guys do mail order on these?
Hi.
You could,
but you'd have to call, not
This is a wonderful shop for all Italian products.
Yeah.
See that? One of the green, but they don't tell you.
No, it's bigger than that. We're the third largest Chinatown in the U.S. So we're behind, it's New York and San Francisco and then us. But we have a real Chinatown.
Okay, so here's what we got. We got 9, which is much better than yesterday. It's 40% better, I think.
Alors, mesdames, messieurs, for your beautiful French experience night and signature, Abigail and I would like to wish you bon appetit.
Wonderful, thank you.
Alright, so all of you having the open-faced ravioli with scallops, lobster, mushrooms, lobster sauce, and milk foam on the top. And I wish you all bon appetit. Thank you.
Merci beaucoup.
Hello, Joseph. We're here for another exciting evening.
Yes.
And Joseph and Ann are awake, as we say.
Excuse me. Can I get some syrup?
It's coming. That's the thickest French toast I've seen here. And the Eggs Benedict.
twin towers. It doesn't look like there's room enough in there for 2 twin towers.
Well, they were just to the south, I think. I'm pretty sure. They weren't in the same place because they have the reflecting holes where the towers were. So they couldn't be in the same place.
Hey Joseph, so what's up?
I'll tell you what's up.
How was your day?
It's a wonderful day. We ate a lot of food. Had breakfast, lunch, dinner.
The ones that are still stumbling along are
No, thank you. I'm good. Thank you.
And we watched the ship arrive in New York.
And before the ship arrived in New York, I know you did something else.
I know, we played trivia.
And?
We scored 7.
They opened at 6. Didn't know this. And by 6:30.
Yes, it is. It is. Would you like to be on the video? Yes, say hi. Hi. Tell us about yourself.
I'm Pasquale from Italy, from Pompeii, and I'm happy to stay here on board.
And we're so happy to have you too.
Thank you.
Okay.
Signor Pasquale.
So what happened? Tell me about trivia.
Trivia, I think we got 7 out of 15. I think that was our score, but you're trying to say something else with your hands, but I don't quite understand. 8? We got 8?
I think so.
I need none of them.
Okay, so we got 8. That makes me feel a little better.
Wasn't that yesterday?
9 was yesterday.
Yeah.
Ron?
Well, yesterday I remember, because that was our high score. So I learned that pesto comes from Genoa.
Famous aircraft carrier, a museum today. She served during World War II. It was the most contemporary. One of them was Billy the Kid. But with the automobile in the streets of New York and the population only growing and never decreasing, well, the train got elevated, and that's what you see on your left.
Was that the old train?
Yeah.
Tracks, now they're using it as a walk.
Yeah.
That's good.
And that's the entrance to Penn Station there.
Loading and unloading. We call that softball today. And they believe it could happen again. So that's what happened right here. The meat package today is very trendy. In the daytime, walk the beautiful High Line. They have art galleries. They also have great restaurants and boutiques. But in the nighttime, some of the best nightclubs and lounges, bars are right here. This was built on the landfill that we created after the original World Trade Center. On your left, this is the Freedom Tower. If you keep looking to the left, you can see the Memorial Park. To the far left, that building with the spikes, that is a transportation center designed by Santiago Calatrava. We have the museum, which is the little entrance for the museum is underground. The museum is actually at the actual foundation of the World Trade Center. The white Twin Towers used to be. So where you see the building goes up, sort of like triangles, turning into like a rectangle, on top is flat. That's how high were the Twin Towers. Marking the city limit.
Amazing city.
You're in here though. I couldn't take video of you out there unless I looked in the window.
I'm not too happy with video anyway. Wait. I'm here at the Statue of Liberty.
Yeah, I can see the signs too.
Yeah.
And the boat.
Yes.
It says Liberty. Statue. No, it says statue.
Miss Getaway.
Yeah. Gateway. Smile.
One of 19 immigration centers. And the other 20, I'm sorry, 20. The other 19 combined, they processed 4 million people together.
The section.
Deported. Leave the country now. How did you come here?
This is the second floor of the main building in Ellis Island. And it's the registry room. And I'm right now in the It's raining at Ellis Island.
Yes. It's not raining under here, but it's raining on the island. When it comes to the boat, look, it's so foggy out there.
There's the boat.
So, a nation of immigrants, and New York City remains a gateway for many. Ellis Island and the Statue of Liberty continue to serve as powerful beacons of freedom and opportunity throughout the nation and the world.
Tribeca. This used to be a warehouse neighborhood, also known as the Egg and Bread District. Jersey City, also industrial. But because everything changed in the 60s, 70s, and 80s, we end up with, just like here, lots of empty warehouses. The worst thing that ever happened to us, the attack on September 11, is the best thing that ever happened to them. 5 days a week. And this is tax-free. I've been thinking about it. I want to open my own company with cat books. It's an idea. I'm reading we have some of the art galleries Chelsea has to offer now. Along with the Highline Park, the recycled elevated train that we turn into a park.
Yes.
And this is a doggy park right here to the right. So if you actually look from here to the right, you should be able to see the signs lit up in Times Square. That entire section. Manhattan is divided into 3 main sections. Downtown from the bar.
Oh, got you both in the picture. So how was dinner?
We're eating in our suite. We're having sandwiches. We just didn't want to get dressed.
Had a hard day.
We had a very hard day touring.
All over the place.
We went.
But are you fans of Seinfeld? Because we're mystified why he goes over so well in the rest of the country. Because for us, it's just a documentary. See, there's the Soup Nazi, where it says on the right-hand side, it says Soup Man. It's based on a real person. People pay for the privilege of having people be rude to them. This Columbus sculpture, he's going to have to step down and directly up ahead. Depicted this Portuguese Admiralty costume. We have 2 celebrations for him. One day for the Spanish community and the other day for the Italian. And now he's meant to be Jewish. But look on the left is Time Warner and CNN. Now we're coming upon, remember Leona Helmsley? This was her hotel. Remember she gave $12 million to her Yorkie, bypassing her grandchildren, and the dog died penniless, apparently. But there on the right is the plaza, the site of the film Crocodile Dundee. For millionaires getting their mansions constructed on Upper Fifth Avenue at the time. Now it's a mostly boutique hotel store. Penthouse of the Good Fountain on top where Miss Piggy had her last special. And look at Tiffany's. The cheapest thing there are the playing cards. And there's the Trump Tower. Donald Trump lives up top, has historically lived up top. The 54 room apartment, 45th floor, bulletproof glass. There it is on the immediate left. Usually the sign can be seen by sunlight, practically. Praised, I think at 100,000, the building 11 million. That's why we don't even have gas stations here anymore. We have only 40 left because there's no bad neighborhood in New York. Yes, that's St. Patrick's on the left. It's the Irish Catholic Cathedral. That's where Robert, look inside. That's where Robert Kennedy lay and stayed. And here on the left, look at this. This is. And we'll come back here later. It's more in full force. But those glass bubbles house the elevators, which go down to the sunken level. And yes, that's the Today Show on the left. That's where everybody's hanging out there with signs where they have the rock concerts. It's in 2 layers of bulletproof glass, so you can see inside. As we slowly go by here, you'll see. They just where Saturday Night Live is filmed. This is at the NBC studios. So you have Dr. Oz, who everything is cured by garlic. The Magnolia Bakery was where. Look at Radio City. I'm reading the Christmas decorations. Radio City on the right, the famous Art Deco movie palace where the Rockettes used to perform at intermission when it was a movie theater. Now, the last show there was so we're normally going by here when seeing the Naked Cowboy. Do you know who he is? I think it's too early for him, but he's a really bad country and western singer who came up with the idea of sitting there in his tidy whities using his guitar as a fig leaf. He makes $1 million in his copyright, in trademarking his looks. I mean, his look, rather. You'll see that they've corralled all these street performers into one area. Normally you would see 15 Statue of Liberty imitators. Right, but it's too early for them. See, this is for the out-of-town, this is the out-of-town entertainment district. All these stores, these mall stores are open till 2 o'clock in the morning. See, look on the left, you'll get a better glimpse of it. The Chrysler building on the left. Upside down switch. They had the car showroom on the ground floor, by the way. That'll be on the left, looking down the street. We'll see it again from various vantage points. But see it on the left? See those, what look like gargoyles are inspired. But it is beautiful, isn't it? Look at it. It's famous for its reading room where William Styron sort of lived there practically, writing, not Turner. The poor man's Harvard. And remember, Giuliani, we're right at the base of the Empire State Building, or the Empty State Building, on the right. 65 Nobel Prize winners came through the New York system. And you know, to go to law school, this is the oldest park in New York. This is where Madison Avenue originates. On the left-hand side, and on the right, anybody from Fort Worth, General Worth is buried here right next to that obelisk. And directly up ahead is the Flatiron Building, because it was
it's got to live somewhere.
On the left, it's only 6 feet wide from the name. Looks like it's hosting it.
Wars. Marlon Brando in 1949 moved to this building on the immediate left. And we'll show you where Julia Roberts lives with her twins, right here on the left. She's apparently a very shrewd acquirer of real estate. There on the immediate left of 43. And This is all Hollywood who's moved here. Kate Winslet lives around the corner. Don't let this rundown look fool you. There are penthouses here for $10 million. This is called NoHo, Nation Criminal Court and Prison on the left. This is where Madoff was arraigned. He was aptly named, wasn't he? Madoff with $8 billion. Martha Stewart that did her perp walk down there. You'll see that the building beyond that is where New Yorkers get married at the rate of 60 a day. Remember this building with the temple facade on the left? This is the backdrop for Law and Order. It's also, does anybody remember Godfather Part 1? Yes. Remember the rub-out scene on those steps? The Capo was getting rubbed out just as the baby was having holy water drizzle. Yes, it's the inspiration for the University of Moscow. It's at one time New York City just meant Manhattan Island. Now it means the Bronx, Brooklyn, Florida, Staten Island, and Queens. But look on the right. Look at this church, right opposite Ground Zero. We can't go into it anymore because they're doing renovation. It's called St. Paul's.
Right now we're at number 4. It's 9:49. At 20 after 10.
Judge?
So, the Jehovah's Witnesses are here. Do we have any Jehovah's Witnesses here? You used to be one?
The South Street Seaport.
Where is it? Well, this was their spiritual capital, right? And then they moved to upstate New York. But they have a portfolio of 35 buildings worth $5 billion. Because the Brooklyn waterfront. Brooklyn consists of all the rent refugees from Manhattan. And there's the Brooklyn Bridge. Now Brooklyn's more expensive than Manhattan is. But see, that was built by German immigrants. Typical German thoroughness. It's lasts another 150 years, whereas the movie White Christmas, which you said came to ruin the dream. Why is it that the Jews always wrote the best Christmas songs? and look, what have they not done that's just been perfect? But anyway, there's the UN on the right. Here's the Chrysler building up close. Another one of those buildings you can see 30 miles away, but not. There's Grand Central. Look on the right, everyone. Saved by the efforts of Joplin Onassis, this is the cathedral of the New York Central Railroad. It has 100 tracks, some 65 platforms. And most amazing of all is they're building a tunnel finally connecting the two main train stations, the Pennsylvania train station, which is causing seismic change. This was all a drive-through through here, and he paved it over, and now it's a park. Well, they should be jailed for. Yeah, and then look at the Port Authority. That's our bus terminal. See on the left? Yeah, it's they have seats 500,000 people a day, and that's where they blast chamber music to keep people away. So it's basically just a beyond your ship.
Good.
A long walk from here. So we gotta have you back at 6. And we always worry about things like traffic. And you see the helicopters patrolling over here, and there are Coast Guard vessels also. This is an area of Virginia which is incredibly military. Now on the left you can see the two carriers, a lot closer. The bird also, it says they have stealth technology. And we're going into the tunnel now. This is where the ships would pass over.
The original Capitol was built in 1704 under the reign of Queen Anne, who everybody loved, Queen Mary's daughter. And so Queen Anne, and they built it, look, this is exactly as it looked. Once. Have it melted down, make it into a spoon. How many times can you use a spoon? The rest of your life, right? The rest of your life. So that was the bank. So, Merchant Square is all shopping that you want to do, and then there are some stores that are open down here. If you want to have the stop, you want to walk down. I can bring the family together.
Mm-hmm.
Porch over it. This is the way it looked originally. It belonged to a man named Ludwell.
Here, whatever.
Racing here, racing too fast.
It's so beautiful. A little chilly. My hands are frozen. Beautiful buildings. I love Colonial.
It's called the palace. It was supposed to be called the governor's residence, the governor's mansion. They called it the palace because it cost Virginia so much money that it was a palace. It was added on to by Governor Botetourt in 1700, and he put a ballroom and a supper room in the back. He got the governor for 7 royal governors. The last one was Lord Dunmore, John Murray, the 4th Earl of Dunmore. Townhouse. So when you come in, you'll be right next to the governor. So the governor's always after the money.
We're in Colonial Williamsburg, and we just had lunch at the French restaurant, the Blue Talon, I think, and we shopped in the Everything Williamsburg shop, and we've got some free time, and we have to decide what to do with it. About an hour of free time. We'll probably do some shopping, some walking up and down the street, and then we have to head back to the bus.
It's raining.
And it's raining a little bit.
We'll pull up to where we can get out to do the wine tasting and the tour. We'll just got the buses to park back here.
Going to South America first. They're going to the Amazon, and then they go around South America, and then in the spring they go from South America directly up to Barcelona.
So there's another cruise after this?
Oh, several. Before the dry dock?
I think we're going right into dry dock.
No, not until April or March. March, I think.
Okay.
Breakfast looks so good.
We're waiting for my English muffin now.
Oh, okay.
I didn't lose any weight.
For spacious skies, for amber waves of grain, for purple mountain majesty, above the fruited plain. America, America, God shed His grace on thee and crown thy good with blood from from sea to shine.